Good morning, my friends. This is Kathleen from Be Again Books. I'm happy to be with you this morning and show you this finished journal. You've seen me make a number of elements for this journal, and so it's finally finished and I wanted to put it up. So this is a vintage Reader's Digest printed recycled cover. I had to make a new spine for this cover, and I think it turned out really well. It's just a piece of upholstery fabric, and then I've used this beautiful antique lace here on the front to cover that seam, and then I've made this pretty collage here on the front with some different images and this beautiful bird. I don't know if that's a swallow or not, but it looks to me like it is. So let's go inside and see what is in here. So you've seen many of these things before in other videos, but I've got some lace on the edge here, this pretty vintage postcard, and a vintage receipt here. My favorite shorts, vintage calendar page. This is a little peekaboo pocket. You can see that peeking out there, the bottom. Some texture paste there. So lots of room for writing. This is an avocado dyed paper. This is just a pretty embossed paper. I've sanded it, made a belly band with this ribbon, and behind there is just this vintage parchment paper. I think it was some stationery. I've used all kinds of just recycled book pages and lined pages. A vintage receipt. Here's the wraparound page that we did. Little journal card. Here is that flip out page. We did this one together, I think. And kind of a fragile coupon for a crushed pineapple sundae. That sounds good. And then there's another belly band, there in the back. So lots of pockets. 1, 2. Yeah, and this journaling space. Some vintage magazine paper. This little top corner tuck here. And this was a perfect piece of ephemera to find to match the pink in this journal. $19.53. Flip out here, book page. You remember this? We made this together too. This is modeled after that junk mail envelope that came to me some months ago, and another little, this is the same embossed paper. Some more vintage ephemera in this little patch pocket. The other shorts. This is a pretty lace. It's a double pocket. Here's the second signature. This is it's just some ephemera pinned on a vintage button card tag. And this is from the current catalog, I think. It's a book plate. So you can use that in one of your projects if you want. Some vintage ledger. This is one of those 4 pockets that we did together. So it's just like a little matchbook. And then there's a card behind. And then this one, maybe you'll remember, ephemera in this pocket too. Dental powder, another little vintage book plate, and a little coupon. It's the collage here and the tag that goes in the pocket. Another little layered pocket. Some vintage ephemera. Coffee dyed paper, and that has a little fold up pocket. Guest page. And then this pocket is also another flip. Oh yeah. Has this little pin on it to kind of keep it from flopping, and there's this little piece of ephemera in that pocket. I will put this back now so that I don't forget to put it back on, and then just a pretty card book page in the back. This is a little large cluster pocket, and I really like the way that turned out. And I put butterscotch cookies there in the back. And the final pocket just has just a little smushed journal card and this beautiful image. I guess there is another. This is just a fancy fold journal paper, and I've just pinned that on here. There we go. That's the end. That's the back. Here's the beaded closure with the elastic. Here's the back. I love this journal. It fits well in my hand, and it's just stuffed with all those fun vintage ephemera pieces. I will list this on Etsy, and you'll find a link in the description below. Thanks so much for spending time with me. I always appreciate your support. If you like flip throughs, would you give this video a thumbs up, and that will help the algorithm spread the video. Thanks. We'll see you again with a special project this weekend.